Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to uh, the series going on with GMEC. This is Pooja Arora, and here would love to welcome you all on this wonderful session we are going to have today on expanding PR canvas through digital transformation. I am sure this is going to give us a greater idea on how transformation works and how PR canvas, like PR can be increased. So I'm really excited to learn about it. So today with us, we have a beautiful speaker, Ms. Monisa Quadiri. Ma'am, most welcome on this platform.
Thank you so much, Ms. Aurora. Thank you.
So I'd like to take this privilege to introduce everyone to Ms. Monisa Quadiri. She's a media educator teaching journalism and mass communication at Islamic University of Science and Technology at Kashmir. Having over 14 years of industry and academic experience, she has been university's first media advisor to VC, heading PR and media center. Her interest includes film, social media, and her paper on film and religion has been in syllabi of prominent institutions, including Queen Mary University of London and Virginia Commonwealth University. She has collaborated with Columbia Law School Clinic for a project on education. Ms. Kadri is a youth trainer on life skills and leadership. Her paper on COVID perception and Twitter has been published in Brain Behavior and Immunity, having over 19 IF. And she has also been awarded many prestigious fellow of Copenhagen by Florida International University in 2021, Bridge Institute UK Kalinga in 2021 and 2017, Commonwealth in 2019, and Indo Global Social Services Sector Media Fellowship in 2012 and 2013. I have a huge list that I can talk about you, Ms. Kadri. So good to have you here on the Vidyadan platform. So what are we going to cover today? I'm really excited to know.
Firstly, I would again thank you for inviting me to conduct today's webinar, and I must congratulate you for holding a series like this, which has been covering diverse topics concerning media, communications, and entertainment. And what we are going to do today, we'll be trying to understand public relations, or PR as they call it, and more so while looking at the canvas of tactics or strategies that are there, how contemporary PR is significantly evolving with the onset of digital media and this entire transformation. We'll be looking at how this canvas of PR strategies is expanding and increasingly expanding with every passing day. So we'll be looking at that.
Okay, great. So without wasting much of time, I'd like to hand over the session to you. I'm learning at the back end. Thank you.
Sure. All right. So as we understand the world of public relations in today's world, it is actually becoming quite prominent everywhere. And when I say that, it's also about the way people or organizations, they are kind of, assessing its importance in today's world. While we do understand that PR is significantly becoming important, it's always important to kind of take a note of how we understand public relations. So, according to the Chartered Institute of Public Relations, they say that public relations is about reputation. And how do we see this reputation? What is this reputation all about? A reputation is the result of what you do. It's the result of what you say and what others have to say about you. and more so about the last bit, which is what people have to say about you. And who is this you? Basically, you here would imply anyone basically in today's world, and it could be an organization, it could be a government body, a business, profession, a public service, a celebrity, a sports person. So we're looking at the individual PR as well. Or it could be a body concerned with government or the areas of maybe culture, maybe education, corporate, or a voluntary body. And irrespective of the size of the organization, so any big or small organization could be a recipient of public relations strategy or could be involving that. This is another definition of PR, which we, generally theoretically use or rely upon, because it brings into consideration different aspects of PR. And the Public Relations Society of America says that public relations per se, it's a strategic communication process. So now we come to the point wherein we identify PR as a communication process between an organization and its publics. And now we're also looking at another aspect of it, which is that the communication has to be mutually beneficial. And so this two-way communication process, or the fact that another dimension is involved, which is publics. Now, who are these publics basically? And when you try to look at the area of public relations or any other field for that matter, you always deal with people, you always deal with those who matter to you. This is what I always use to define public. So publics are your most important stakeholders. So in the world of PR, consumers or clients or maybe voters, they are your publics. And you could identify them as your existing publics or your future publics. So there would be groups who would join your organization or who would have a connection with you. And the fact that your work and their desires or their needs match somewhere make the relationship more strong. Media is a public. It's one of the major publics in today's world. And understanding part of the definition is quite significant from the point of view of what you're offering to them. So when we look at, as an organization, when we are conducting our PR, our objectives, our goals, they have to match with what people aspire to be or what they aspire from us, what they expect us to be offering to them. So this is a very important aspect, that we understand the two-way communication bit of it, this definition and this entire process. And here is when the digital transformation really plays an important role, because with changing dimensions and changing definitions of the world, with the onset of ICT or digitization of different concepts, we see that has transformed a lot of fields, and PR is definitely not untouched. When we look at public relations, what does it do? It helps us, the whatever tactics you are employing, whether they are the traditional strategies or the contemporary tactics, how are they contributing as a result of the communication process that we engage in through these platforms or via these strategies? We are able to establish a reputation of, again, the organizations or the institutions that I mentioned earlier on. So we can actually enhance our reputation and build relationships across with different constituents. And while we are doing that, I would also request you to try and connect it with the digital transformation as well. How, for example, through internet and through social media, we are able to extend that scope of these relationships. And then what else does PR do for us? It builds an image for the organizations or institutions, the kind that we want, the kind we aspire for us. And that image should always reflect on our guiding principles and our values and what we actually stand for. In case of businesses or corporates, these relationships and these images help them translate into profit. So business is generated. And through sustained PR efforts, we're able to nourish our public image with every passing strategy that we employ. With the result, we are able to develop and build trust across the board at different levels in our communities, in our societies, at international level. Your name comes across every now and then with good work, associated with it. So definitely that people are going to have a certain amount of trust related to you. And you will definitely develop credibility as a result of communicating nicely about the good work that you're doing. And also, at the basic core of this entire public relations is deliverance of information that people require from you. They want to know about, for example, a financial organization, a bank. They want to know about the products that they are offering. They want to know from a university the kind of courses that are there, or the level of expertise that we would be having in the faculty. So that would be there. And now with the new media and social media, what we see is that the customer engagement, which has been one of the core, objectives of PR, that is also achieved in a much larger dimension now. So the customer engagement is expanding actually, whether you use your own platforms or you use a platform which is a paid form of a media, or other platforms that we'll be discussing ahead. And also, you're taking your audiences from an unknown status to a known status by creating a brand awareness. So something they were not aware, now they are aware of it, thanks to the PR. With this, there has to be a matching consistency in the performance of an organization. You cannot just go about talking about your organization and not deliver or not perform. So that performance has to be there. And along with that, your reputation is connected very closely. And then you're also able to measure different key performance indicators. For example, the kind of coverage that you were able to garner, or the kind of visits you had after you maybe gave out an advertisement about some event, and the level of participation that you saw. So you can always have certain measuring statistics available to you. And one of the biggest functions that PR performs is crisis communication. It is as significant as all the positive PR that we do. And crisis communication is helpful in different fields, whether you talk about businesses like automobiles or food industry or maybe politics. They are handled by crisis communicators, which is one of the masks or one of the manifestations, a much better word to use, manifestations of a PR practitioner. And you see crisis communication happening on daily basis. And these are a few of the traditional PR strategies, because this, as I said earlier, the field is evolving and the strategies as such are also evolving, and they are, becoming more comprehensive and widespread. But not to say that these traditional PR strategies are not significant. They are very significant. The first four deal with media relations. For example, the level of relationship that an organization has with the media around, whether that's local, regional, national, or international media, if that works for you, that is going to definitely determine the level of coverage you're getting. So every time an organization gives out a press release, it will be covered by virtue of your relationship with the media across. Then other formats of communication that are handled or that are given out or disseminated via media are there, whether that's in the form of videos or pictures. And then a very important strategy is your press conferences. Good afternoon, Amrisa. Thanks for joining. And or you hold press conferences or press briefings, and with every passing day, and if you're following media, or particularly the digital media, you'll see that the number of these presentations or these appearances is increasing. So people are actually connecting strategies across the media, connecting traditional and PR strategies. So all these things, whether that's about coverage or that's about connecting publics through different channels, has been going on. Publications, you might have seen a magazine in an airline that you traveled. That's a PR tool, basically, or a website. That's a PR tool that people have been using. Now, with the advent of digital PR, uh, as I said, this canvas is expanding. A lot of more strategies are actually adding to the kitty of PR tactics, as we call these strategies. And now the number of strategies in any PR campaign is diverse. You can always have an integrated sort of a campaign which is available. And the transformation or the metamorphosis that has happened with this is actually helping us with the level of engagement and awareness that is involved in the overall process of PR. So what all is being done is, in addition to what all we had identified earlier on, and much more that deals with brand awareness, or that deals with increasing the profits of an organization, or that deals with building and sustaining the key crucial relationships across, whether that's with the government, or that's with the regulating bodies around, or that's with the media and all sorts of media, cross-section of media, or whether that is for the international collaborations. The first thing that any organization, before tying up with you or setting up an alliance with you, will do is maybe look up your website or search a keyword about you in one of the search engines, and the kind of results that they're able to get would determine how their image about you would be like. Or at times you might even visit the social media profile of these organizations and check when did they last update. For example, this becomes a performance indicator, or the kind of content they're updating. So all of these indicators are helping us assess the image of an organization or a brand, or a group, or an industry, or even a political party for that matter, or your celebrities. They have proper teams working with them who handle their PR and who handle their social media presence all over. So what is digital PR actually doing is it's improving the search engine optimization. Again, the level of search that happens, the level of information that we are looking for with regards to an organization, as PR practitioners, we have a role to play in that. The kind of information that you feed into the digital media and all these platforms that we have been talking about would reflect in the results, in the search results. And more positive information about you, the better it is for us. Or engaging the target audience, you can always have the niche marketing strategies. You can always identify the audiences and your publics with regards to the digital media, and it's much more easier now. And every day you post, or every day you publish something about your organization, you're definitely going to boost information about you. And suppose you put up a social media post and you give out a link to your website, that's going to increase your website traffic straight away. And then, along with the options available on digital media and the new media, the entire platform of new media, the choice that we make with regards to the platforms is amazing. And it's curated considering the requirements, as well as requirements of the audiences, as well as our requirements. And again, the process of trust building or image building is an ongoing one, even when you're handling this particular media. And the last one here is generating leads. So you're giving out an information about something, and possibility of people looking that thing up online, or maybe visiting your website, or checking furthermore are definitely increased. So from this, wherein in traditional media, we had, all these platforms available, we are now switching to a platform wherein there's a plethora of options available, and the mix and match can happen very easily, and the level of engagement that we are able to generate, or the following that you are able to generate with regards to your content, is actually more evolved than the traditional media. So now, trying to deal with the digital PR in a much more nuanced manner here. What are the different options that are available for conducting PR for us? When we look at the digital PR, we generally think that it is more to do with the online media only, or the social media only, but there's much more, or there is more to activities that could be engaged with when it comes to digital PR. So while the focus here is on moving towards new media and internet to advertise themselves, there is always an option for a promotional activity, or awareness through free media. So you have a mix of all these media, because advertising in essence is a paid form of communication. So, and there are a lot of options for actually spending on the digital platform and generating the kind of results that you want to see for your organization. But then you have other options which are organic and which are free for you. So those are there. And even with this switch, we can always go beyond the traditional sort of a way looking at, the way we look at the traditional way that we used to look at how PR is conducted. And of course, with times, digital PR has become a natural choice for the PR practitioners and for the organizations for employing different strategies which are available. When we look at the digital PR, it is generally focused on online publications and websites to gain high quality backlinks and coverage. Which means that earlier on, we were focusing on newspapers, magazines, television channels, or news stations on radio to kind of give us the amount of coverage that was possible for them. Suppose we had an activity where we had an event, so next day we would have a press coverage of the event. So that is taken to another level now with the onset of digital PR, and the number of avenues which are available is huge. A single newspaper can have its web edition, can have its e-paper, can have its social media platforms, social media accounts and pages on different platforms. So even when one organization publishes something about you, they can be actually repeating that coverage on multiple platforms for you. So that is happening. And then generating backlinks. So some article about you will include a link from your own kitty. So that link in a way will generate a reverse traffic for you. So it is a very interesting amalgam of things here, which are going back and forth, but helping your PR at the same time. And not just awareness, image building, or increased engagement, the right kind of digital, PR or digital communication process, they are very, very important in terms of producing more results for building one's brand. So some organization which starts its brand anew, and is located in one of the cities of India, let's say, and with digital PR, a person from Kashmir, a person from maybe one of the cities in the east can be aware of that. So brand building is becoming easy, and the awareness that is related to that, that's becoming easy now. And some of these that you see the list out there, these are some of the most common digital PR strategies that are prominently employed for improving this reputation, building a positive image, generating goodwill, or managing a crisis at times. So when you look up the internet, what happens as an organization is the kind of content that is about your organization matters. As I said earlier on, when some organization is trying to tie up with you or have a collaboration with you, they would definitely look up these results and they would search about you, or they would check what's available on your organization. So there's so much that could be done to improve the coverage online. And a good PR strategy here is to get online coverage of things that have happened offline, for example. So now you're taking, as I said, your press release would be covered by different platforms. So now the thing is that people are not just sharing them with the traditional newspaper organizations or the news media outlets, but they're also sharing with different outlets over there. There are blogs, there are portals, there are different websites which are syndicates, or they use syndicated content. They are not news websites per se, but then they are able to produce, or they able to support content on the industry that you represent. So it's not just the news platforms that we are focusing now. We are focusing a broad-based variety of content providers which is available there. And at times, even a simple positive mention on, let's say, Quora or Reddit can do wonders for an organization, because often it has a good position with regards to the Google search results, the Quora questions. Or what is also done is that organizations are trying to generate as much favorable content in order to help with that search engine optimization and the search results that are reflected about your organization. So in order to generate favorable content, networking with people who are involved with writing blogs or writing articles is an option. The organizations are trying to build relationship with bloggers or those who are content writers, content producers on different platforms, so that when they are writing about your organization, they will mention links, or they would include hyperlinks of content that will again drive back to you. So in a way, it's a loop that is created about the organization's different activities and engagements, and you are somehow trying to push audiences or the visitors to another platform of yours, maybe, or maybe some good information about you only. So this is a really nice strategy that is there. Sometimes companies also have affiliate programs in which they pay a certain amount to the bloggers or those who are writing. So they'll pay them a certain commission or a certain amount, and then see to it that they are, or encourage them basically to write nicely about your organization. Again, very important would be to syndicate newsworthy content across your own platforms. What I mean here is that suppose something nice has happened at your organization, or suppose something really newsworthy content is available. So why not transform that into a press release and give it away? At times, we generally believe, as a journalism student, we generally believe that events have to be newsworthy in order to be covered by media, but sometimes it may not be in the framework of a traditional news, but then there might be something really interesting about something with regards to your organization, or with someone new joining the organization, or with an innovative practice that has been implemented by the organization. So that's something, if not getting translated or converted into a press release, could definitely translate into a social media post. And when you have that post on your social media, why not put it up on the different platforms that you own? Because They are your own platforms. Your website is your own. Your LinkedIn profile is your own. Your bulletin boards are your own, or any such platforms which would be there. So you are multiplying or amplifying that content of your own organization rather than relying on the institutions elsewhere, because everyone can have a social media platform and they can have n number of social media platforms with these accounts or these platforms getting added every now and then. So interesting stories could be added and people would connect with those stories. And multimedia format, for example, on Instagram a little bit of post and a picture would do. Then on Twitter you can have a textual bit of information, then on Facebook accordingly, and you on your own YouTube channel you can have nice shorter reels or interesting video content. So you are catering to all these platforms, but at the same time you are consolidating that information that was at the core of it, that was at the basis of this. um, so now what we are doing with this is that we are adding good content about the organization every now and then, which is what PR is basically all about. You are communicating about your organization, you're talking about different things that you're engaged with and how your organization is a responsible, trustworthy institution, and you're reflecting on all of those things. Another strategy which has become really big is influencer marketing. These micro celebs that you see on different microblogging or social media sites, they are driving the industry in a manner wherein they're they're able to generate public opinion in a certain manner. So adopting influencer marketing strategies is a key tool in today's world. You can have a brand ambassador who's a big name, but then at times the budgeting and at times certain considerations are there which do not allow organizations to opt for these big brand ambassadors. So at that time what we can do is that we can go for these local influencers. And now since 2020, particularly after the COVID pandemic, what has happened is that their number has increased a lot, and the areas that they are operating in is also increased. So that's widening now. So from technology to let's say makeup to fashion, it's going on to lifestyle, or it's going on to things like motivational speakers, or environment and sustainability. So all of those areas are being covered. So you can always find the most suitable option for your organization and actually hand over these operations to them and help them or network with them. So, and it's again a two-way communication. It's a paid kind of partnership that's there, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship that happens. And it's actually generating a lot of results that we see around. With this, again, the media relations, which were traditionally to be strengthened or focused upon by PR organizations, they're also becoming big now. As I said, that every media organization has multiple platforms to offer, and if there's a possibility, having the right kind of media relations and networking with people from different cross section of media, from different formats of media is important. It's not just that you have good relations with the person who's at the helm of affairs, but also who are handling these different areas, who like we used to say in the traditional media relations, that it was important to know who was doing a particular beat in a newspaper. Now we are saying that it's important that you're engaging with the personnel of all the individual formats, so that your relationship with these media platforms or these organizations is actually getting strengthened. And with the level of digital media intervention, the scope for infographics, the scope for digital information, whether that's any kind of data which is there, increasing, that's increasingly going up and it's available. So for example, the analytics are available in the form of pure data, and at times it's interesting for a PR practitioner to showcase how their consumer engagement is increasing by virtue of these infographics. It becomes very easy, rather than relying on the traditional, when we used to follow kitne newspapers mein, how much was the coverage, and how many stories, how many newspapers did your report. Now you have another level. It's a bigger level of infographics and information available, even in terms of media monitoring, even in terms of following the kind of following your media, following the press that you were able to get, whether that was positive press or the bad press. So now there are different tools which can help you assess your performance, your presence online, and also showcase that the same information could be showcased on websites, and websites are your own platforms, they are your own tools, and they could be used the way you want to use them, and the kind of information that you want to showcase will reflect on these dimensions also. And it is becoming easier with the digital PR in a much more significant manner. I mentioned website a few times. So website is you know with the availability of tools and with the availability of manpower, navigating through a website and offering different options is becoming big. So now you see a lot of websites are offering, for example, live chat. So there's an interaction, the level of interactivity is live, it's in real time, and with that interaction, you're also personalizing those experiences for the audiences, and you generally like to visit certain platforms which are more personalized and customized as per your requirements. It's easy for you to navigate through those websites wherein you can pick and choose the options that you want to see or don't want to see. So, and these are successful models basically. And then coming to the social media strategy, this is a major aspect or manifestation of digital PR. And from going from your own individual social media accounts to talking about the social media pages of institutions, we are able to offer a lot in terms of PR. So the level of integrated marketing that has happened through social media is huge. It involves both paid and organic formats. So if you want to boost a post, you want to maybe disseminate a certain piece of information to a certain locality, to a certain geography, you can actually make those choices, and you can buy those preferences from these giants, and actually target that particular group which you want to target. You want to target a certain age group from a certain gender. In Delhi, you can do that. You can target the same age group, but from another gender in Srinagar, you can do that. So these options are available by way of social media. And yes, the social media strategy is really important to be considered in how you're planning that, because the peak hours matter, the consumer or the user engagement matters, because if you post on at a certain time during the day, the post might not generate the level of engagement that you were expecting, but it might generate this much more or double the amount of engagement if you post it at certain other time. Weekdays, the day that you're choosing to post, it matters. So all these criterions and factors are helping organizations at times engage with a very evolved kind of a PR themselves. Now they're not relying on agencies so much so in all the matters. Yes, PR agencies are becoming very important and they're becoming multinational in their overall appearance, but but then there are certain things which organizations are able to engage, themselves only. For example, you're looking at all these different areas of scope that social media is able to offer to us. And in all this, you see viral marketing campaigns, or you see, for example, sponsorships, branded content, which is sponsored by a particular organization that could be posted in different platforms, or there could be sponsorships per se. You could collaborate on some events or activities, and then the user base is actually widening, or looking at all these aspects, which again become more clear through the PISO model, which helps us identify different, it helps categorize media formats into maybe paid, earned, social, and own media. Own media is your own media, which you own, where you can post any content. So a lot of times people are not able to leverage this bit that much, which should be done. So owned media will have your own websites, your email marketing could be really huge. And it could actually substantiate the results that you're able to generate otherwise. And then you have a list of other platforms wherein you see the user influencer engagement, or who could be engaged for maybe advocacy on certain things. They have their user base, they have their follower base, and the issue that you think that they're able to make a mark on, they could be collaborated with for that particular issue. And then again, you can always fall back on the paid format, which includes advertising on all the media, whether that's outdoor media or traditional, or now the online media. So the paid media options are always there to support and to kind of extend the power of your PR. But what we want to see is that we're able to understand and assess the importance that PR has in today's world, and there's no substitute to good work, basically. So I would end with this thing only, that definitely all these tools are available, and much more is there that could be used and employed in order to generate the level of PR engagement that you want to do. But then there's no substitute to the good work, and it's all about the work that you are able to do first and then communicate, which is where PR comes into place. Yeah, I would like to stop here.
Hi, sir. Oh, thank you. I'd like to start with thanking Ms. Quadiri. You have covered the entire spectrum of about digital transformation. It's really well spoken, well covered. And today we have with us Dr. Amri Saxena as well. So am I audible?
Yeah.
So I somehow I thought some technical issue and I'm not able to, I'm not audible to anyone. But the way Dr. Quadiri has covered everything, it's really amazing. It's really amazing. You've covered, from the root level to the higher segment. Thank you so much, sir. Ma'am, so what would you like to say?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. What Monisha has been talking about is the update status as far as the PR is concerned. Obviously, with the this digital age, every sector of media has undergone tremendous change, be it journalism, be it advertising, be it public relations. But public relations, even in earlier times, it's a combination of so many activities. But what has happened in this digital age, that certain things have been added to the core concept of PR. But as Monisha talked about, one important aspect that has been added to PR, which was earlier not there as such, if we talk about the journalism and mass communication education is concerned, and that's the marketing aspect. I mean, till few years back, obviously, in any journalism and mass communication program, we would never have talked about the marketing aspect. But now it's very much part of the PR exercise, and also the social media. Social media has penetrated so deep in all areas of mass communication that whatever we practice, I mean, as far as the applied things are concerned, whether it's journalism or PR, it's always there. And the combination of so many tools, the integration of so many tools, which has become very important. And any activity like, as in my institute, I organize a lot of activities. So how do we approach as far as promotion of the event is concerned, which again, a lot of PR tools we use. We make certain videos, we make certain posters, and then cross-platform postings need to be there to ensure wider reach. So right from text to audio content to video content, everything is converging in the digital content. And that is how this whole PR is happening in today's time. And it could be for commercial purposes, it could be for social service purposes, it will be for academic purposes. But PR is something in today's time, as we call the digital PR, it is something without which we cannot start with. Even when we are planning certain event, even much before that, we launched a complete social media campaign to reach out to the audience which we are targeting. And digital media, I mean, there is nothing to be added to this, in the sense that this is something which everybody has to make use of. Clever are the people who make a wise use of the digital space for the promotion of some event. And when we say PR, obviously, it's like when you are into all such kind of campaigning, all such kind of activities, which are leading to the result that you would have planned, in fact. And again, what Monisha talked about, the influencer marketing and all. So everything plays its own role. So in a way, if we talk about, since these whole sessions under Vidyadhan are targeting to students, so if there are students listening to this session, listening to this lecture by Monisha, they will understand as to how important is digital media to understand, to practice if they want to make a career in PR. So your writing skills have to be important, your marketing skills have to be important, your spoken skills have to be important, your understanding of technological tools is also important. So all these things, I mean, all these traits one has to inculcate, one has to grow with if somebody wants to enter into the area of public relations. So kudos to Monisha for making such a comprehensive and such an easy presentation, because that's again a challenge that we try to make the things easy, comprehensible to the audience which is there. So that way also Monisha did a great job. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. You have covered it. Yes. The presentation was so well prepared. Indeed. Thank you, Ms. Kadri.
Thank you so much. And I mean, it really means a lot coming from Amrish sir, who is actually, I think, I would not be wrong if I call him the brand ambassador of the biggest online academic events, because he's been conducting these series of events every year, and which are phenomenal in their own essence. So thank you so much, sir, for your presence. And I think you actually summed up things really beautifully, and your own insights, which are definitely a learning for me as well. Thank you so much, sir.
And like Ms. Kadri mentioned about the series, I would like to mention about the tomorrow session. It's amazing communication. and by Dr. Manish Jessel. So we are really excited to understand how cinema can also tomorrow. Until then, take care. Thank you so much, Ms. Kadri and Amrisa.